All right, so you're doing your research on Midland right now because you're gonna be making a move here soon. And so I've had a lot of clients that have made the move from Houston to Midland, and there are quite a few questions that always come up. And so what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be hitting those most frequently asked questions in this video, so stay tuned. All right, so number one, what people always ask and they wanna know is Midland safe? And I'm gonna tell you without a doubt, Midland is safe, especially for people that are watching this video, right? Let's take a look at the statistics here. Wait, I just went over to betterplaces.net. Now they have a crime index that they actually use for their website. They get the information from the FBI. And so I did a comparison between Midland and Houston. And so they do this on a scale of 1 to 100. And for violent crimes, Midland is a 16.6, and for Houston, it is a 50.4. So large difference there. And then for property crime, Midland is a 36.1, 1 meaning low crime, and 100 is gonna be the highest scale for crime. So Midland on property crime is a 36.1 and Houston is a 63.2. So if you're moving from Houston to Midland, the one thing I will say is that crime and it being safe is probably something that you're not gonna have to worry about. One of the reasons why that is because Houston, the whole area of Houston is massive, right? One of the largest cities in the United States, over 2 million people in the area. So here in Midland, we've got about 170,000, maybe just a little bit above or below 170,000 people. It fluctuates depending on how things are going here. But with that being said, the more people you have, the more problems that you have, right? I will say, if you don't lock your things up and you are a soft target, then you might get hit up. There are kids that are running around checking doors and doing that sort of thing. Kids are gonna be kids. But as long as you do the things that keep you safe, keep all your valuables protected, you're probably gonna be all right. All right, so let's take a quick stop here. I wanna give you access to our Buyer Advantage program. You can click on the card here that's on the screen, or you can click down in the description below. This is gonna give you everything that you need to know about finding somewhere to live here in Midland. It's gonna talk about our home hunter service and one of the most important resources that I think you need, which is access to off-market properties. Very low inventory here in Midland, so you're gonna wanna get access to these off-market properties. Reach out before you actually make the move. That way we can already have everything in the works, all right? So click on the card above or click down in the description below. Let's get on to the next point. Next thing you're gonna be thinking about is, where do you wanna live? And the question is like, what are the safe places to live in Midland, Texas? That's how the question comes up whenever someone's talking to me. I need somewhere safe that I'm gonna live, right? Well, as we stated earlier, Midland is really, really safe. But my rule of thumb is that you're gonna wanna be outside the loop in the northern area or western part of Midland. And if you can't get outside the loop, you want to be as close to the loop as you possibly can. Now, there is a small gym that I think you should look at, and that is Old Midland. All right, so if you're going around talking to folks, ask them if they know anything about Old Midland. They're going to give you a little look like, Old Midland? Very, very hard to find a home in Old Midland, but if you do, it is going to be absolutely fabulous, right? Great trees, huge trees, and homes that are just really, really nice, great neighborhoods with people, families, and young professionals as well. So that is another gym that you can be be on the lookout for, and that's Old Midland. All right, next is gonna be schools. All right, if you don't have little ones, you can just fast forward past this section of the video, but if you have kids, obviously, schooling and where your kids are gonna go to school at is gonna be one of the most important questions that you're gonna ask. I know that in Houston, most people find their housing based on the school district, and that's usually why they pick where they live at. Well, here in Midland, we've got 2 school districts, right? We've got MISD, which is Midland Independent School District, and you've got Greenwood ISD, which is Greenwood Independent School District. Now, Greenwood is out in the country, so if you're looking for like land, a house with some land, like a little bit of acreage, if you're into equestrian, horses, farming, all that type of stuff, Greenwood is gonna be the place for you. Now, if that's not the case, then it's gonna be in Midland. We've got a few resources that we will put down in the description below where you can check out ratings for schools and all of that. I've also got a video that I did, kind of breaks down the schooling situation here in Midland. And so you're either gonna go to public school, you're gonna go to private school, or there actually is a large homeschooling community here in Midland as well. And so, as you know, depending on what neighborhood you live in, that's gonna determine the elementary school you're gonna be in. And so that might be also one of the things that you're gonna wanna look at is, especially if you come here to Midland, most folks come, they visit, and what I encourage them to do is actually to go and actually visit the elementary schools. You're gonna wanna call them, you're gonna book an appointment, and you're gonna go tour the school. That way you can see how everything looks and if you think it's actually gonna fit your family's needs. And the last thing here is, what is it like just living here in Midland? What is there to do? What can you do? What types of things are there to do? Now, in my past videos, I have been known to say like there's not a lot to do here in Midland. People usually work here in Midland, then they leave on the weekends or whatever else to find things to do. But I'm actually gonna change that up now because, like I said, I've had quite a few folks that have moved here from Houston to live here in Midland. And I'm just gonna be honest with you, I'm actually kind of surprised they really, really like it here. Now, the thing is that there's a lot of great people here in Midland. I always say that, like the people is what makes this place great. And honestly, we're getting a lot of attractions here to Midland. So there's a lot of things to do here now and that are also coming. You know, we've got the Reserve that's coming. We've got the Summit Center that's also gonna be finished here very, very soon. We've also got a zoo that's gonna be here in Midland as well. And so when you start to look at those things, I think slowly over time, we are starting to attract more and more businesses, and there's a lot more things to do here for families. People are investing into the community. And so as I follow up with my clients and the families that I've actually been able to help once they've moved here, like I said, they actually love it. So you move here, you find your group or your community that you're gonna be a part of. And once you do that, I guarantee that you're gonna love it when you get here, right? And so some of the things that I like to highlight, partially because my family does them, and then a lot of the folks that I know, they engage in these activities as well, is number one, we help a lot of families, and so sports are actually a big part of what we do, right? Just year round, we go from sport to sport, and that's how we meet the families that we know as well. A lot of family-oriented things to do here. You've got Green Acres. Our downtown area has been revitalized. Centennial Park down there is really, really good. And there's just lots of great places to eat as well. One shout out that I will give is for Juji's Kitchen. They're actually under construction at the moment as I'm creating this video, but that is a gym that you're gonna wanna go and you're gonna wanna go check out. All right, so these are the things that you're gonna wanna know if you are moving to Midland. These are the most frequently asked questions I get when people call in. Now, this video here, it's actually gonna talk about some of the best neighborhoods in Midland. So that's probably what you're thinking about next. You're gonna wanna click this video so that way you can take a look at the best neighborhoods here. That way you can get an idea of kind of what you're looking at whenever you move into Midland.